Hello everyone, welcome to my video. I'm Stella from Stella Crafts. How are you today? In today's video, we are going to crochet together a pretty hair bow. They are super quick, easy and fun to make. And we can make them in any size. So let's start, come with me. Let me tell you the materials we are going to need to make this hair bow. Some yarn. This is a number 3 lightweight yarn. Crochet hook. Tapestry needle. This is optional, but we can use a measuring tape. Hair elastic or some sort of hair clip. And of course, we also need scissors. Look, this is the yarn I'm using today. And with that yarn, I'm going to use a 4mm crochet hook. You can use any yarn of your choice. Just remember to change the hook size accordingly. In this tutorial, we are going to crochet 2 mesh rectangles just like this one here. One will make up the streamers of the hair bow, and the other one is going to be folded in half, like so, to create the main part, which is the bow. And then we attach these two parts together to create the hair bow. And then we have to decide if we want to use a hair elastic or hair clips and attach them behind the bow. The rectangles I'm going to make today using that yarn and that crochet hook that I already showed you measure each approximately 10.5 by 3.5 inches. But you can make them in any size that you want, because it's so easy to make this rectangle longer and wider. If you want to make it wider, you have to increase the number of chains in the foundation chain. So it's gonna be bigger over here. But one thing to keep in mind is that the foundation chain has to have an even number of chains, okay? So the mesh pattern here works out properly. And if you want a longer rectangle here, you have to just make more rows than 22, which is the number that I used for this rectangle here. So the total length of our hair bow is going to be approximately 8 inches in total. But as I said before, you can use any yarn that you want and you can make them in any size. So if you don't want something that measures the same size as mine here, you can adjust it easily. Okay, let's start crocheting. Let's start with a slip knot. Now the slip knot is ready, and the next step is to chain 20. So we are going to make 20 chains. 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 chains. Look at that. In the 60th chain from the hook, we are going to make a double crochet. So look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one right here. We are going to make a double crochet. Right there, look at that. It's looking like this. We have many chains here and we have a gap. So this is going to be part of the mesh design that we are going to use. And now we chain 1. We skip 1 chain here from the foundation chain and we are going to place a double crochet in the next. Look at that. So chain 1, skip 1 chain from the foundation chain, place a double crochet in the next. Skip this one, double crochet right there. Chain 1, skip 1 over here, place the double crochet in the next. And we do that until the last chain here of the foundation chain. Let's work on the last one together. Chain 1, skip 1 chain, place a double crochet on the last chain over here. Look, the first row of our mesh design is ready. It's looking so cute, look at that. Let's move on to the second row. So now we chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We are going to turn our work and we are going to place a double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous row. So we skip this chain here and we place a double crochet right there. Chain 1, place a double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous row. Don't forget, chain 1, skip the chain from the previous row and place a double crochet on the next, which is on top of the double crochet from the previous row. Chain 1, double crochet. And in this way we create a mesh design. Look at that. And we are going to do the same thing for many rows until we reach the desired length of the bow. Let's work on the last little square here together. So we chain 1 and then we place a double crochet on this chain over here. So we skip 1 chain and we go to the next there, and that's where we are going to place our double crochet. Look at how it is. So we have 1 chain here where we don't place any stitches on, so we have this gap here, and then the double crochet is on the second chain over there, and we have 3 chains left over here. 2 of them make a double crochet, so it's the post of this little square, and 1 belongs to the foundation chain, right? So this forms a little square. Do you know what I mean? So this is our mesh design. It's made of little squares. Let's do it one more time together so it's very clear. We chain 3, turn our work, we skip 1 chain here and we place the double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous row. And these chains here, they count as a double crochet and as the chain from the gap here. Do you know what I mean? So that's why we made 3 chains, because 2 chains count as a double crochet. I hope that's clear. Look at that. Chain 1, place a double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous row. Chain 1, and then a double crochet. Skip this chain, place the double crochet right there. It's very simple and very fun to make, and it's a quick project because we are just making a few double crochets. We are not making a double crochet in each chain of the foundation chain. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's very quick and very easy and also very fun to work on this. So this mesh design is all we need to make the bow. So we are going to use the same design for the main part of the bow and also for those 2 strings that hang down from the bow. Super simple. So here, my last square. I skip this chain here, I go to the next, and I place my double crochet right there. And row 3 is complete. Now we go ahead and we work on the other rows, and they are all the same, okay? And we are going to make many rows until we have a big rectangle here. I'll make a total of 22 rows, and then our rectangle will measure approximately 10.5 inches. Hi there, I'm just here to show you how it looks like with 14 rows. Look at that, we still have some work to do. Let's get into it. Let's continue. Rows. Look at that. Okay, so I'll meet you back when I'm on the last row now. I'm almost done with my last row, which is row number 22. Look at that. Almost there. And it's looking like this. So look at our rectangle. The next step is cutting the yarn here, leaving a tail of approximately 5 inches for sewing. Let's pass the yarn tail through the last stitch. And then with the tapestry needle, we are going to sew these two parts together here. Just going to weave in my ends. Before I start making the second rectangle, I want to show you something. If you want a hair bow without the tail here, or the streamers, I believe they are called, you have to stop right now. You don't need to make a second rectangle. The only thing you have to do is grab a very long yarn tail and wrap around this rectangle right in the middle. So you wrap it many times. Like so. And one thing you have to remember, if you are using a hair elastic, you have to attach it here right now. So you have to pass this yarn tail inside the elastic, so the elastic is secured on the bow. Okay, I'm starting my second rectangle, which is exactly the same as the first one. You go back in the tutorial and check the steps because they are all the same. So let's work on the second rectangle and we'll meet back here when I'm done and I'll show you how to assemble the bow. Alright, so here I have my second rectangle that will make up the streamers. And here I have the main part, which is the bow. We have to attach these two parts together now. Something like this. Let me show you. Putting the two parts together is very easy. We just need a very long yarn tail because we are going to wrap it around here in the middle to attach these two parts together. You can attach the streamers on the bottom of the bow or to the back of the bow. It's up to you. I'm going to attach it on the bottom here. It's so beautiful already, look at that. So I'm going to twist the yarn string around the two parts a few times before I attach my clip or my hair elastic. just to secure the two parts together a little bit. You can adjust as you go. Make sure you pull the yarn as you go, so it's very firm, and also you create this pinched effect here in the middle, right? I'm going to use this kind of clip here. I believe it's called French barrette. I think I'm not pronouncing that right, but yeah, that's how it's called. And I'm going to remove this part here to make it easier for me to attach it to the bow. So I'm going to attach this to the back of the bow, right? So you take a look, you decide which part is going to be the back and the front. And now as I wrap this yarn around the bow, I make sure I'm also getting the hair clip. You can also secure this with some hot glue if you think it's not well secured. If you are using the hair elastic, it's the same thing, the same method. Only for this kind of clip here that you don't need to worry about, because you can just put it inside after you are done. Now let's tie some knots here. And then we are going to weave in our ends and conceal these yarn tails inside the bow. I'll put this back just to make sure the clip is going to close before I finish up everything. Okay, all good? All right, so I'll be right back after I weave in my ends. Wow, it's very pretty. Look at that. This is the front and this is the back. Perfect. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. I hope it was useful and that you make many hair bows. I wanna see your hair bows, so please, if you make them, tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your creations. Thank you again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!